Donald Trump's own staff, according to Trump biographer Michael Wolff, is now beginning to question his sanity, his mental stability. And yes, of course, like most things this week, this is all related to Donald Trump's disturbing post following the murder of Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer. But Michael Wolff says that he had spoken to a member of Trump's staff in the White House, and that person said this: "I don't know what that was, but it wasn't good," talking about the post about Rob Reiner. "Everybody knows it's a thin line he walks. Is he teetering? Well..." And then Wolff said, "This person didn't complete the sentence." Wolff then added, and this was during a podcast on the Daily Beast with co-host Joanna Coles, Wolff said, quote, "We all become kind of diagnosticians of these old man presidents. I mean, nobody is going to come out and say he's losing it, so we all have to make our own judgments about that. And I think in this situation, particularly in this situation, in the way that everyone who has a family at some level relates to this, I think the judgment is going to be a devastating one. Trump is off his rocker." Very blunt, and I agree with that 100%. Coles then said that Trump's post really does sound like the utterings from an elderly relative who you go and see reluctantly in a home because they just say vile things now. And as I pointed out, yes, that is also something that you will see in somebody with dementia. They completely lose any filter. They completely lose any kind of internal monologue. And they will say things that you never thought you would see come out of, your sweet little grandma or grandpa. They do that. And if Trump does have dementia, this is just kind of like, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense now. But if Wolff is correct, if he actually does have this source inside the administration, where there are now whispers among them that something is mentally wrong with Donald Trump, this could be the tipping point, right? If the people around him start to understand, like, hold up, this guy's not all there. There is something wrong. Well, one thing we can be sure of is that there will be more leaks of that. Because as we learned through the first Trump administration, as we've learned through the second one so far, even though they're trying to lie detector test everybody to find the leakers, there's nothing but nonstop leaks. So, if this reporting is accurate, we will start to see more of this as Donald Trump continues to become more unhinged, more unpredictable, and far more demented than he has ever been. So, this is almost a let's wait and see to find out what is real. Because again, if they are thinking that, more of them will start saying it anonymously, of course, to their sources in the media or to outlets altogether. So that'll be a fun thing to keep an eye out for. But the White House, of course, is not one to just let somebody make comments about them without responding. So, the Daily Beast reached out to my favorite member of the Trump administration, Stephen Chung, who, as I've said in the past, actually looks somehow both like the big bad wolf and all three of the fat little piggies combined. He just really is a cave troll. In fact, if you think back to the first Harry Potter, when the troll goes into the bathroom, that's Stephen Chung. Like, you could put photos of them side by side and people would be like, that's roughly the same picture. That is what Stephen Chung is to me. And I have no problem making fun of the way this fat little pig looks because he is a disgusting human being on the outside as well as on the inside. So I'm okay with that. But here's what Stephen Chung said about Michael Wolff's comment. Michael Wolff is a lying sack of shit who has been proven to be a fraud. He routinely fabricates stories originating from his sick and warped imagination, only possible because he has a severe and debilitating case of Trump derangement syndrome that has rotted his peanut-sized brain. Now, it actually sounds even better if you picture that coming out of the troll, or maybe one of the, the orcs from Lord of the Rings. Like, if you picture them saying that, then you're like, yeah, that's his line. But that's Stephen Chung for you. Either way, if there are members of the Trump administration who are not questioning his mental stability, then at this point we need to question their mental stability. Okay? Because if you're looking at this guy and you're thinking, yes, this is how a normal person is supposed to act, then chances are there's something wrong with your brain too. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.